This episode is brought to you by Camilla Najat with Exit Realty Metro.
Camilla Najat is an experienced real estate agent who prides herself in finding the perfect home for her clients. Camilla can help you with a comparative market analysis to help determine the value of your home if you're planning on selling, or help you determine the going rate for the neighborhood you're moving into. She can also work with you at your pace.
You can reach Camilla by calling 902-880-8429 or email camilla@exitmetro.ca.
Also, you can find her on Facebook at Camilla Najat, Exit Realty Metro. This is Matt Conrad.
And this is Mike Tobin.
Welcome to the Afternoon Pint.
Cheers!
Cheers. To evil.
To evil and to good. Welcome to the Afternoon Pint. I'm Mike Tobin.
I am Matt Conrad.
And I'm Erin Hennessey.
Erin Hennessey.
Erin Hennessey.
All right, Erin.
The founder of the liquor, the alcohol.
The Hennessey liquor, yeah.
No?
Empress of the Hennessy liquor.
Okay.
Yes, that's why I'm sitting here in this room with you guys, because I'm the heir to the Hennessy fortune.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah, exactly.
Regardless. Sorry. So tell us who you really are.
Oh, okay. My name is Erin Hennessey, and I live in Halifax, but I am originally from Newfoundland.
Newfoundland, all right. And
Okay.
you are, so you're here with Hennessy Castings, right?
There's no S, just
Just Hennessy Casting.
casting.
Okay. Just that, no
Yeah,
S.
they're just casting one person at a
One
time.
person.
Not like a they don't do mass casting.
No, exactly. So, okay, so I'm pretty excited about this because there's a whole, we get to kind of see behind the behind the veil, I guess, of what you do. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh,
The
and
woman
before we
behind the
jump into
curtain.
that, we just got to say we're at the new Great Roads
That's true.
Brewing, formerly Old Biddy's Brewing.
That's right.
Okay.
Name change.
So there's a name change. We're drinking out of new Great Roads Brewing glasses.
That's
they say
right.
Lower Sackville. They look really nice. I like the new logo. Looks great on the glass.
Yeah.
And we're both having Biddy's Lights.
We're having the biddies light because we got a double header.
Yeah, we're taking it easy. And you're drinking the...
The chocolate stout, and this is delicious.
Yeah,
Right.
it says that they're
It's
naughty
really
or
good.
nice.
I
is
don't
it?
drink a lot of beer. When I do, I tend to go for something kind of black. So
Nice.
The
No, it's a
stout,
great
the stout,
beer.
we get to taste that, taste test it before it was released, and it's
really
quite
nice and
drinkable.
an easy, smooth drink.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much. They opened up for us on special notice because they
Yeah.
changed their hours recently. As a lot of breweries do,
During the
Tuesday
off-season.
in January is like an off season,
Right.
so it gets really slow. So they have a hard time, filling the place up on a Tuesday after work type deal. But they opened the place up just for you, Erin.
Yeah.
For you,
Yeah.
They heard
Gee,
you were
so you
coming.
guys usually do this in a room full of other people, just mind their own business doing shit?
We
No,
have.
we do it. We have, but
Yeah.
we generally do it here. We like to be in the actual brew house kind of thing. But we've done it a few different places where we've done it just sitting in there, and
Yeah, we've
it
been in
can't-
some
it can't
really
be
noisy
too loud,
spots.
right?
No.
Yeah.
But we don't mind a little bit of feedback because it's supposed to sound like you're not in a studio. It's supposed to sound like you're sitting at a brew pub. So yeah. So here we are.
So where are you from in Newfoundland?
St. John's.
St. John's. Born and raised, or just born?
I'm from town, yes.
From town.
Town,
And when did
yeah.
you leave Newfoundland? How old were you?
I was actually, I think I was 11 or 12. We moved to Montreal, so I went to high
okay.
school
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
All that jazz. And I moved back to Newfoundland in my late teens.
Okay. And then you eventually landed in the Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hopped around a bit before I came back. I came back to Nova Scotia twice. So
Okay.
this last, I think I've been here for about 20 years.
Oh, great. And what made the move to Nova Scotia for you?
St. John's is a terrific place. But if you know absolutely everybody, it can be really tiresome.
Sure, okay. Yeah.
Fair enough. But you must be getting to know a lot of people with.
Listen, you guys don't understand. Back then, St. John's is bigger now and it's fancy.
Yeah.
But back then, it was people were like, "Oh, Halifax is so small." I'm like, "Dude, you don't know from small,
Yeah.
Right.
right?"
Right.
Yeah.
St. John's is a lot more of a boom going now
Yes.
than did 20 years ago,
Yeah.
for sure. I was born in Newfoundland, too. I was born in mid-central Newfoundland, though, Grand Falls.
Grand Falls.
Yeah. It sounds
Grand
very
Falls.
exotic,
No,
right?
I love Grand Falls.
Oh, you've been there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The Grand Falls. No,
There's
that's
not much there. I mean,
No.
not to be
I haven't been
crass,
there.
but it's a small community. Yeah.
I actually used to work on commercials. We went everywhere. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but I was only born there, raised here.
Oh,
so
I see.
used to work on commercials, so that's where I really want to learn from you, Erin. Like, how did you become? Because it seems to me like whenever there's like a film production in town, and maybe you're not the only one, maybe you are. I don't honestly know. But it seems like you're attached to a lot of the biggest productions that go on, Hennessey Casting in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
So maybe walk us back. Like, how did you start this business? Did it come from family, or was it your own brainchild, or?
Not this business, no.
No?
No. But my mom is a film producer. She's retired-ish. She's still always like, no, I'm going to do this thing. I'm like, Mom, you said you were going to stop working. No, but I'm just little. I'm like, Mom, you had like 10 strokes. Can you just go to Mexico? Fucking read a book. But yeah, so it's funny because when I was in high school, she was making documentary films at Studio D in Montreal, which is a feminist branch of the NFB at the time.
Okay.
And so to get my allowance and stuff, she would drag me into the NFB on the weekends.
Okay.
And I would have to actually trim actual film.
Wow,
Right?
cool.
So she'd say, I need this interview, and I'd have to go look through all
So
of
you'd
them
be
and find
splicing the film for her?
No, I didn't do that. I would just cut up the strips so I could
Okay.
prepare this shit for the editor.
Yeah.
And I'd have to label what this is, what this is, what this is, and
Wow.
then hang it. And the bag would have a big bag with like a bar over the top of it, and you'd hang all the film on hooks.
Amazing.
And it would
Yeah.
dangle down the bag, and so when the editor waltzed in there on Monday, you'd have it all.
Oh,
ready
that's
for
cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to have to transcribe things as well, back before they made machines for that. So
Okay.
So you're like, so this was kind of this was not something you discovered in terms of, you were really raised in it.
yeah, yeah. My brother's a technician. He's a grip.
Well, okay.
And
Yeah.
he's back in Newfoundland as well. So he and I both, and of course, if you're a filmmaker and your friends are also involved in that same industry, then you just kind of grow up knowing people who
Gravitate. It's a fascinating
Exactly,
industry.
right.
How could you not want
Yeah.
to know more or get into it if you have family doing it in a
Yeah.
sense, right?
And we're in such a fortunate. I guess it's different now, just because the internet has made everything, the whole world, a little bit smaller.
Sure.
if
That's
you want
true.
to think about it that way. But
Yeah.
like back, I remember before the internet.
Yeah.
I do, and I remember before,
Okay.
like working on a computer, and I would just have a notebook, and I would just stay on the call. Like I'd call people. When I was working in production, you'd call people to try and source things or whatever. And
Yeah.
You just keep a notebook, and you'd write things, and you'd cross them off when they were done, and you'd start a new page, and you'd start in the morning and write down all the stuff you didn't get done yesterday. And you'd start there, make stuff, and I remember that far, far back.
Okay.
It's bonkers. Oh god.
So your company is responsible for casting, obviously, actors, extras, like everything in terms of the people and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And there's a couple, there's a whole debate. I don't want to get political, but obviously there's a whole debate of when tax credits and all that stuff got cut and all that stuff now from before. But it seems like the film industry in Nova Scotia is actually doing quite well now. I mean, there's some really big shows going on here, and there seems to be a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm turning on Netflix and I'm
So
seeing
you
TV
feel
shows.
like we've bounced back in
Yeah,
a
but-
sense?
No, not quite.
Or not
No?
quite, eh?
Not
No?
quite.
Yeah.
Before the incident,
Yeah.
we were an absolute juggernaut.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
We were on our way. I was very
well on our
actually.
way. So, and there
I don't
was-
get political, but that was something I was very vocal against because I knew so many people at the time that were in our industry, and I felt like we were getting a real Hollywood kind of sense. Like it was
Absolutely.
getting nuts. Like
People were like, I can live here, I can
There
have
was, like,
family
10
here. and there's-
productions coming
and
to
there's all kinds of
Halifax
supply
or
houses,
Nova
and
Scotia.
everything was here, and like we were.
and the place is small enough, and then you went to little places like Lunenburg, where you'd see, like I was at the time, just before this we went down, I worked with Eastlink, and I was doing door-to-door like telecom sales for business, right? So I'd see Lunenburg, and I'd go to these small communities, and I'm like, how are these little businesses surviving? The answer, film. Right, and they were unique and beautiful businesses that you might not find anywhere else in the world, but they existed because of the film. Might have needed antiques for a set. There was the coolest antique store you've ever seen, and you go next door, there was like the craziest costume shop, and you're like, these are in the middle of this kind of beautiful little place, and you couldn't really, all of it was tied to film, and most of it's gone now.
Yeah.
Right. And so not political, but I mean in a sense that when we have these things, I feel like we should have realized what we had and what was being built here.
Well, we did realize it.
Well,
they
We
did.
were absolutely aware of it. Yes. We're pretty proud of it, actually.
Yeah.
I was a cheerleader for it for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, so
Yeah,
but,
it was quite worrisome. I mean, when you see, I guess I wasn't involved in it or anything. I'm not in the industry, but I would have thought it would have actually kind of bounced back a little bit just with the amount.
No, I mean,
of
it certainly
famous
has, but there's been like the
stuff.
trajectory. It's
Yeah?
just been like it's like a perfect storm situation.
Right.
So just when the thing with he who will not be named and the thing after that was over,
Like Voldemort.
right? But so before the pandemic, we were,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and then the pandemic happened, and surprisingly, he who will not be named took a really hard position on COVID. So our numbers were fucking great
Really?
all across North America. And that is why we survived, is because all these shows started showing up here because
Right,
they were
okay,
like,
now I know
look,
what you
they
mean.
got no COVID in Nova Scotia.
Oh my God!
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
And himself, I'm
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
didn't do that intentionally. That was
No,
not
no,
his-
no, no,
whatever.
no, no. That's a
But
fluke.
so
Okay.
during that whole situation, many of us who did not vote that way were starting to feel very conflicted because I'm going. You get those memories
Yeah.
on Facebook, and every now and then I'll see one that says like, "There he goes, hitting me in the feels again. What?
Yeah.
I feel weird about this.
Yeah.
Why is he making me cry?"
That's crazy. The ups and downs of your industry.
Really, like you're probably one of the very few industries that like excelled through COVID. I guess
We excelled. Yeah.
You guys excelled. Well, that's awesome.
I mean, that's fantastic. Yeah.
And I
obviously.
hope, and I'm sure, and I know that he who will not be named is aware
Yeah.
the
Absolutely.
massive hit that we took. And go ahead, take the credit for the good numbers and COVID and all that other stuff.
Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah. no.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
right.
just put us in a great position. So when the new guy showed up,
Yeah.
we were still thriving
Right.
Okay.
instead of completely bottomed out.
Yeah.
How's
And we
it
want-
kind of going now? How do you feel like the like again? We're not getting political or anything, but it's
No.
just like how do you feel like the
Well,
funding
we were
and all that stuff is
super
going
great
on?
until the strikes in the States, right?
Oh yeah.
well,
that
yeah,
that would have
yeah.
killed it too.
So
for
we're
a
like,
minute.
yes, I'm going to be so busy for the next 3. Oh, right. Okay.
So
Yeah.
how did that impact you? Because I mean, it wasn't anyone in Canada that was striking. I know, for example, like, and I don't even know if you have any involvement with Sullivan's Crossing, but we did have someone, a guest on here from Sullivan's Crossing, one of the actresses. But I know Chad Michael Murray's on there, and I know that he was promoting Sullivan's Crossing during the strike, and he was getting a little bit of backlash online, and he had to remind people it's not Canadian productions that are on strike; it's the
Right.
American ones. So he was like, I'm fulfilling my obligations, with what I have to do. I still support everything that's going on in the U.S., but he has to fulfill his Canadian obligations,
Right.
obviously. So yeah, I guess
It depends on how many writers on your show were from the U.S. And where we get a lot of U.S. productions up here,
Right.
that's a thing. Sullivan's Crossing was in a great position because most of the writers were Canadian to begin with,
Okay.
Right.
but then also so were most of their cast.
Yeah.
And-
it seemed. Yeah.
Yeah. So and somebody like Chad Michael Murray is probably both. So he would be, an actor member here, but he'd be SAG-AFTRA in
Yeah.
the U.S., right? And so they just negotiate with the union, like, come on, just let us do the show anyway. It barely affects anybody. And
Exactly.
So that's how Sullivan's Crossing got to go, and some other shows as well. It just depends on how the percentage of Canadian writers, actors, blah blah blah, and where you're shooting and all that other jazz, and whether or not actors feel like crossing the picket line, even though in a sense they weren't. They
No,
definitely
yeah, exactly,
weren't.
yeah,
But it's like
yeah.
do you have enough money to take this much of a stand, and do you want to be responsible for a whole bunch of other people not getting to work for the next 6
Well,
months?
that's the other thing too. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to hold up production, like there's Canadian people who can work here, who
Yeah.
you would be
Yeah.
holding it up too, right? So
Right.
you have to
yeah,
be
it's
sympathetic
a big
to
responsibility.
that. Yeah.
Like I know that Drew Barrymore ate a lot of shit for putting her show back on the air, but I can imagine that because it's all the same people who work together all the time, and they're all starving to death and getting their cars repossessed and their houses
That's
taken,
it.
and their kids
Yeah.
can't go to university.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, we're just a stupid talk show. Can't we just?"
Well, that's the thing. Like they have writers, obviously, and I'm not to discredit what they're doing and stuff there, but I mean, the writers of a talk show especially hers, which is not like, it's not like the Tonight Show where they write skits and things like that.
No, but they do a lot of research and things like that.
They do research, yeah,
right?
exactly, yeah.
Anyway, it's a hard line to try and figure out how to walk, because on the one hand, you built this kind of family that you care about, but on the other hand, like, everybody's going, well, we're going to be not working for at least 2 years.
Right.
And then it's great for Drew Barrymore, who can just probably go home and.
Well,
but she cares about a whole lot of other people who are just,
Right, but the person that's just getting those roles to survive, and they can,
trying to make it
like
or whatever.
editors.
Yeah.
And,
and writers
research
don't get
people
paid a ton.
It depends.
Right. Well, I mean, the great ones do, but generally, you wouldn't know. Okay.
I wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a tough thing to lose, right? Because you wouldn't need that
so
job.
because you're just kind of like very torn between your personal feelings and trying to do what's right.
Yeah, I imagine, like, if I'm a manager, and I mean my team is very much like, I have to face them every day. I work with them every day, so I'm more loyal to them than I would be to, like, the president or whoever.
Well, exactly,
like, right?
yeah.
If I had the ability to make sure that people weren't losing their cars and homes, I'd probably do that. And people can hate you for that or whatever, but I don't have to face those other people.
No, and that said, they had every right to strike, and a lot of great stuff is going to come out of that. I really don't know much about from the writer's perspective, but for actors, I don't have the full take yet on how they're defending themselves against AI, but they rightly, absolutely should do.
That's crazy, but you're absolutely right. Like, the first time I was at Star Wars, when you saw Luke Skywalker in what was that show? Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've watched this or not. So Mandalorian was a great show they made on Disney Plus. And the last episode, you get to see Luke Skywalker as he was in the 70s, right? And it was pretty cool. You're like, whoa. Yeah. And after you went, you would think of it like, gosh, they don't need actors anymore.
I think he still voiced it.
He was still there.
Yeah, he was
there. But, like, how long? Like, now they can do this entire podcast could probably already be ran AI off.
Probably.
Am I actually here?
Some odd we've made. Yeah.
Are you actually you? Are you real?
Welcome to Erin.
I like this show.
I like this.
I am waiting for a bus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it is a scary thing. Yeah,
it's a scary thing.
Yeah,
so
you protect your rights, and then, like, it'd be a weird thing to deal with too. Imagine, like, so you're like an actor that's had a huge career like Harrison Ford, and now you're you have to consider you might pass away one day, and your family or your inheritance would move on. Do they keep championing you and have you live on as a ghost through the rest of time, or do they let you kind of peacefully rest when your time's come?
Yeah, Harrison Ford is probably still going to be acting 100 years from now.
Like, he could be, right? There could be an Indiana Jones 42.
I think he just had a new baby or something, didn't he?
No, that was
Al Pacino.
That was Al Pacino. Yeah, close. Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah, crazy.
Good God.
Yeah.
Just for the people who are going to be listening, like, do you mind sharing, like, some of the projects, like, maybe that's something they may know or may not know?
Yeah, you don't have to dive deep in any storylines, but just tell us what you got out there, what people are coming by to audition for these days.
So 22 minutes. We're in our 31st season.
You work with them for 31 seasons.
I haven't been there for 31 seasons.
Oh, okay,
no.
Yeah.
I started actually getting involved with them probably, I'm going to say maybe 15 years ago.
Okay.
10, 15
that's
years
like
ago.
half.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And
that's a great show.
I mean, they don't need a whole lot from me because everything's just, it happens so fast, and So it's a really interesting format for a show.
I follow Hennessey Casting on Facebook, so I
Right.
see your posts when it's like 22 minutes, actors needed stand-in, 18 to 24, upload your resume to Hennessey Casting if you want to be considered for a role, right?
Well, you should already have an account on my...
I don't think I do I?
What the fuck are you doing in my group, man? It's not for
I
you.
don't. I don't, but I think I might. I think it'd be fun.
I wanted to do it, and I
fun.
just think it's on my to-do list that I was going to do, and that list is really long.
Well, this information is not for you.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Well, I want to be on your list, so I'm going to set up an account. I might actually have one, and I just honestly don't know.
Actually, you know what? So we have a sponsor for our show, and our sponsor, she does real estate, but she actually does
Yeah,
acting.
Kimia.
Yes, I saw
Yeah.
her on your website.
Yeah,
So she's an actress, and
She's a lovely girl.
She's awesome. And for folks like Camilla who kind of want to break into this, that's a great question. Segue, like, how do you break into like, what's the best way you can start if you're a guy like me or a lady like Camilla and you wanted to be an actor?
Well, it's easier now that we have the internet, obviously. It really depends on, sort of from a global point of view, it really changes depending on which region you're in. So if you're in Toronto, whatever I'm going to say right now is not applicable for you.
But,
if you're in Vancouver,
just for
LA,
Halifax,
or whatever,
yeah.
but like, Eastern Canada, let's say. Let's
Okay.
just narrow it down to the Maritimes even.
Sure.
Film Nova Scotia has a website, and they list all kinds of people who do all kinds of jobs within the film industry. That's, if you don't have a clue how anything works, it's a good place to start there.
Film Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Cool.
Screen Nova Scotia.
Screen Nova Scotia. Okay, yeah.
Can you cut that out? Cut
Sure.
that out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I
No problem.
said Screen Nova Scotia.
I might leave it in now
They're
because it's kind of funny.
fabulous. It used to be called Film Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Screen Nova Scotia is a really good place to start. Just get some basic information about. If you have like, oh shit, my grandma's house is pretty cool. Maybe somebody'd like to make a movie there. You can actually go to Screen Nova Scotia and go on their website.
No way.
I believe they have an upload portal.
What? That's cool.
That's pretty cool. I had a short film filmed at my house.
Yeah?
Yeah, someone, I had a guy I play football with. He's into films and all that stuff. And he does short films and all that stuff. And he was at my place for a bunch of football guys get together. And he was just like, I really like your house. He's like, you big windows, lots of lighting. He's like,
Did you let a film crew in your house?
And he was like, can we come in and do a short film? And I was like, yeah, why not? It happened to me. My wife was away for she was in Quebec, and I was like, hey, do you mind? And she's like, I'm not there. I don't care. She's like, just make sure the house is clean.
Was it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I made sure it was clean.
Well, can film crews be tough in the homes? Yeah.
No, they were really great. Honestly, they were really great. Yeah.
When you have a small crew like that, they can be. But if you're, let's say, depends on how great your location's people are.
Well, they put me in the small film.
Right.
Where they I had this thing where it was really funny where they had this guy who was talking up front, and I was in the car that was being repoed, and I was like the repo guy who was going to drive it away, like take it kind of thing, and I was supposed to just like back it up and like take it away like after the guy was like take it away whatever, and I decided because the guy was arguing, was like really confrontational, I decided just out of a laugh to like open up the sunroof and give the middle finger through it as I was driving off, and the guy was like, we're keeping that in. He was like, that was awesome.
That is awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
I'd be too freaked out about trying not to,
I was like, whatever,
drive
you're
too
using my
fast
house.
or not injuring people
My
in
only
the street.
acting was in a crime. Well, no, that's not true. But my TV debut was in a Crime Stopper.
Yeah, he was in a Crime Stopper.
Were you the guy that's selling the smokes
Oh,
out of the
selling
back of the
illegals?
car?
Yes,
That was
he
me.
was.
How did, I kept seeing that. I'm like,
It was
who made this?
perplexing.
And where did they find these people?
How much that got played on CBC?
I know, but you
because it was
don't
on
even
every
look like
hockey
a
game for like
skeet.
10 years. What?
You don't even look like a skeet.
What do you mean? Skeet? What's that?
At least they didn't make you like a child predator. That one will hang around you
The
for a
funny
while.
thing is, he said nothing. I'm sitting there like watching Hockey Night in Canada, and it comes on, and I'm like, did I just see Tobin in a Crime Stopper?
I didn't tell nobody. I was like really low key about it.
Mister.
Yeah.
You
But
want
then
my
it was on
octopus?
every hockey game for like 5 years. So eventually the secret got out. I'm like, what can you do?
Well, congratulations.
That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well
And
done.
I did a bunch of theater stuff.
Yeah,
I did a
yeah,
bunch
he
of
was
theater
in
stuff. A
theater
lot of
too, yeah.
producing and directing and stuff like that. But
Okay.
never, my goal was always to get like to where you are. Maybe not a casting director, but like a producer on that end. And
Yeah.
just, I don't know.
Well, I will tell you,
took a different path.
we are gasping for production managers, line producers, line producers and production managers.
Really?
So what's a
More.
line producer?
So a line producer, I'm going to be a bit vague on it as well, but when out of province shows
Mm-hmm.
are looking for somewhere to land and produce their show,
Yep.
Yeah.
they need to engage a local producer,
Oh, okay.
right? In order to access whatever we have to offer them in terms of tax credits and all that jazz. And all these decisions are made at like film festivals and where they get together and say, you come to Nova Scotia. That's why we're always sending people to LA.
Okay.
Come film in Nova Scotia because we'll give you this much off to that and we're a good time.
That'd
Here's
be
my
a great
daughter.
job.
Yeah, for sure.
Can we do that? Yeah. we'll go to LA on behalf of Nova Scotia's film industry.
They've sent dumber people.
Yeah.
We'll go there. What we'll do is we'll go and we'll buy them beer.
That was the best compliment we ever got.
That is the best compliment we ever got. You guys aren't as dumb as the people we send.
Listen, to be fair, I didn't send anybody anywhere.
Oh boy.
So let me get this straight. We're not too ugly for TV,
right?
And not too dumb to be an industry ambassador. Gotcha.
That's
great.
cool. Yeah,
we fit right in there.
There we go. We're in that niche.
Yeah, we're in the niche. In the niche to stay on podcasting.
Late night.
Right.
Yeah.
Professional skeet.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to define skeet for me.
You don't know what a skeet is?
You know
Come
what's
on
a
now.
skeet? I never even heard of it.
Tobin.
What?
You're wearing hip hop. Come on, man. You got to know the lingo.
Oh, it's
lingo.
not from hip hop.
Okay.
So skeet means a very different thing in hip hop.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
skeet and
What
hip
the
hop.
fuck does skeet
Okay,
mean in
so
hip-hop?
you ever hear that song "Little John Get Low"?
Yeah.
Like,
No.
from the windows to the walls to the sweat drop off my to all ski.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so that was one of the most popular rap songs ever.
Yeah,
like it came out in like 2003. Sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm 53 years old.
That's
dude.
okay. I'm
don't-
30. What? 40. I'm 40.
Yeah, you're 40 now.
Yeah. So that came out 20 years
Not
ago.
my-
Yeah, we're all
Okay,
aging.
whatever. Oh,
That's beautiful.
so what is he talking about then?
So skeet meant ejaculate.
Yeah.
Like to ejaculate.
Yes.
So when you called me a skeet, I'm thinking Little John and his rap song
No.
and the rappers doing disgusting things. So that's why I had to
I was
kinda-
thinking skeezy. No, skeezy.
Skeezy. Okay, skeezy I get, but what is skeet?
Skeet.
Yeah.
And you're from Newfoundland, and no one told you this?
No.
It's
I was
like a
born in Newfoundland.
dirtbag.
Okay.
Near duel.
Here's a skeet.
Skeet.
A skeet.
Yeah.
That's my new rap.
S-K-E-E-T.
Little skeet. You're definitely little skeet.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm the
Oh my
first person
gosh.
to tell you that.
No, I honestly
I was thinking skeezy and you were just shortening it.
The ejaculate part,
You
that's
never heard
news
that
to me.
before? I know
No,
that's gross, but
now
it's a
I won't
thing.
forget it.
Yeah.
No,
And
that's
I'll
true.
probably take more care before I
Well,
accuse
it
somebody
was-
of being
It was a funny
skeet.
thing at the time because the song got on the radio and they didn't censor it.
I'm sure
Like,
it would
that's
have been
what they-
hilarious in St. John's when it came out.
St. John's. Just
Yeah,
be like,
the rappers are always one step ahead with the vulgar terms of like the censors.
Yeah.
So the rappers got it on the radio. And I thought that was the best thing in the world, right? Because I
Yes,
love
of
a little
course.
energy, right, in my diet. So I thought it was always fantastic, and that they had that out there. And so when you called me that, it was like a total like, I'm sorry.
That was universal.
It's like I was in a Crime Stoppers commercial. You ejaculate.
Well, at least
I
they
was
didn't
like,
put
whoa.
you in the pervy. Did they make a pervy one?
No, I don't know. That was just a one-time thing with
Don't
the
get
guy,
in the car.
guy that worked at Eastlink that put an email out, and I just answered the call. What was terrible about that, as that commercial up, is he made me smoke my own cigarettes. I don't smoke anymore, but I used to smoke, and I smoked like friggin'
He
like.
made you smoke your own cigarette.
I smoked like a pack and a half to get the take right. I was like, I'm like, oh, okay, man, can we just get this take right? Because I can't smoke anymore.
And this was his magnum opus, I suppose, wasn't it?
What? He was into it, but like.
He would no. Just one more time, just like that, but just give me a little more.
So
like,
there's a part in the.
What is your motivation?
There's a part in this commercial, and if anyone's ever seen it, you can find it still on. If you type Eastland Crime Stoppers, you can find it.
yeah.
And there's a part where the other guy goes tragic personal loss, and he smashes a picture of my family with a hammer. And it's odd. It's an odd.
Is it
commercial.
your family?
No,
You
it's just
said?
some random family
shit.
that like you
Oh,
pick
said
off the
random
shelf
family
at like
is that
Winners.
He smashes a picture of my family.
He's like here's the picture of your family that you're destroying with his drug dealing or whatever. And, and I can't remember the words.
Yeah.
And he hit the thing with a hammer, and like smashed the picture in front of it. It was a really weird commercial.
yeah.
I hope it resonated with all those illegal tobacco buyers.
Yeah,
I think it probably did.
I would
You
say
were very warmly received at all those hockey games for so many years.
several of the illegal tobacco users were watching Hockey Night in Canada going, oh, this is terrible. I don't want anyone to smash a picture of my family. I'm keeping this up.
I'm not selling those illegal smokes anymore.
Yeah,
Look
exactly.
at that guy. Look at his skate.
That's skeet.
I have a fantastic joke, but I'll save that for later.
Oh my gosh. Well, we've already broke all the rules in this one. You might as well go in.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's fun. Oh, this is a good one.
So let's go back to the projects that you're involved in.
Yeah, we went way off on that.
Way
Sorry.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right now, 22 minutes
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a little show called From.
That show's huge
Yeah,
now.
that's huge.
That's
Yeah.
massive. Massively popular.
I think it was last summer. I think you and I saw they actually put up casting for like
Zombies
people.
or something. You guys did.
Well, like creatures.
Creatures
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
I considered.
we don't watch.
actually-
I don't think either one of us watched the show, do we?
I started it, but I
Okay.
haven't. No.
So there's a difference,
Yeah.
like on the show. So there's some of the monsters, and
Right.
they resemble people.
Okay.
Right.
But then occasionally there's a need for creatures, which are a little more sort of otherworldly. So we're always looking for people who are like very, very tall and thin. That's a thing.
Or look
Because
like my physique, like an ET
No.
kind of fat belly, skinny man, kind of like weird. No, that doesn't work.
somebody that kind of scrambles around in the dark, oinking.
Some
I could
random-
do that for money.
This one, it was like the casting that went out was looking for like all sorts of different body types. It said like whatever, and it was like I think they were looking specifically for males, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm within that age range, and I was like, I said to Tobin, I was like, we should do this, we should go out there, but it was like very vague in terms of like when it would be ready. And it was just like, well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like
So
No,
when,
it
you,
is-
when,
it's-
when you work full time, it's hard to kind of like
Absolutely.
carve it
This is-
out
this
and
is-
stuff,
we're not
right?
we're not looking for people who work full time.
Right.
We're looking for
Right.
people who have flexible schedules
Exactly.
for whatever reason it is.
No, for
oh
sure.
yeah, no, whatever, yeah.
And so for that show, like, and I think sometimes I just send them off this library of folks. I'm like, here's all the folks who answered the call, and we know they're available, and they're down with all this stuff. And I think that they look at the different people, and then they start creating
The
what
creatures.
could this person look like? What could I think
okay.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
maybe, or they have these ideas in mind, but they would tell us really more specifics. I think.
I'm sure the creative artists would probably be inspired by
There's
the
like
by the people.
Library of people.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's
So
cool.
do you have hands-on like approach for it? Do you kind of like just running the operation, or do you actually go down and like you're like that person, or
I'm in a unique position because I have this website.
Hennessey Casting.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's HennesseyCasting.com.
.com. We got to
I don't know
keep
if I
plugging that.
mentioned
It's
it.
really cool. Anyone listening, anybody can create a profile on this thing, right?
Even you.
Even me. I think I have one. I might. I'm not sure, but anybody
I'm
can
You can
create one.
Facebook. You can
I'm going to
Hennessey
create
Casting.
one
Yeah.
just in the off chance that maybe I could do something.
Part 2 to that movie where you gave the guys a finger and drove
Yeah,
away.
exactly. I can
Yes.
do it. I can do it again.
Right?
I
Just
can
where did
improvise.
that even come from?
Yeah.
You just pulled that right out of your.
Oh, yeah.
This is what
creative
this scene
genius.
needs.
He's like, I just give the finger and everything.
This is my go-to move.
I go to my go-to move. It's working for 30 years.
It's like
Every time
it's
you
like
drive
Matt,
away from the house and your missus at the door, you're like, "Oh."
I was going to say like Matt, it is really inappropriate during your vows.
Yeah.
But,
What?
you were talking about From, and other things that you're involved in.
Yes.
I believe I think you were saying that you're also involved in Trailer Park Boys stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just not shooting anything right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't do all their stuff.
Yeah.
They're pretty. Listen, I have so much admiration for the way that their whole planet evolved.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm not super
Talk-
close to anybody on the
No,
show,
for sure.
or I'm sure.
But like they have their own how complex that operation is. People
Yeah.
would probably gasp.
but it was born of a desire to make sure that everybody got taken care of, I think. And somebody listening to this is probably going to go ape, but I just think that they found a way beyond the networks, beyond having to ask various funding agencies for money all the time, and so rolling all the merchandising in through that.
Yeah. And they
so
got
they
the SwearNet's its own thing, and it
Yeah.
does well.
yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
genius. It's
Yeah.
genius. I applaud
Yeah.
all of them for everything that they have done and all the efforts that they made. So, 'cause
Yeah, I think everything hits. I mean,
Yeah.
everything except for maybe Bubbles Mansion.
Bubbles Mansion didn't work. No,
we
but-
don't talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, but they got a lot
I
of
ended up
other.
there a few times.
Oh,
I'm not
I
gonna lie.
spent some time
Yeah,
there.
it's
I've
like,
seen
oh,
Bubbles
shit,
there. a couple
where
times.
am I?
Like
I
they
should
got a
not
lot
be
of
here.
other successful
What time
businesses
is it?
now.
I should
Like
not be here.
they have businesses on Argyle that you wouldn't even know they owned, and
Yeah,
other,
they
other
own-
places they own
yeah,
quite a
they
bit.
own
I
like
ended up
3, yeah.
upstairs at the Toothy Moose one.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing. I
Yeah.
should not be here. It is 5 o'clock. I should not be here.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. They do wrestling shows there now. That's pretty
Do
cool.
they?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
I haven't
Yeah.
gone to see any local wrestling, but
I haven't
I'd
been
love
down
to.
that way in a minute. Yeah.
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 You could, what?
like Argyle or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
I was going to say, you don't want to sign up for the wrestling because I know who. I can get you in, is what I'm saying.
Oh, wrestling?
Oh,
no, that's not very.
You can get him wrestling? That would be amazing.
Zero interest.
I would 100% do that in a second.
You want to wrestle?
I would wrestle.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, then we got to do that.
I
then.
grew up like loving
We
wrestling.
can do
like,
put a
loving
YouTube
wrestling.
up of you wrestling. That'd be great.
Listen,
Grease you up,
okay,
send you
I'll
out.
tell you. So,
I know that I could hook you up with the people
A
who do
previous-
that, but after that, it's...
okay, so
I did work on a show where we were training. They needed female wrestlers.
Oh, okay. Was that Glow? I mean, I watched that on
but
Netflix.
it was
I remember.
It was after the whole Glow series came out, and then some
Oh, okay.
filmmakers that I know came up with this idea to do a series about lady wrestlers and doing the same thing. So that happened.
we, a previous guest, Brendan,
Yeah.
who was on here, he and I talked about doing a charity wrestling competition. He and I.
You want to wrestle Brendan?
We were actually going to wrestle another guy who we're working to get on this show, who is gone through official training. He's a wrestler now, and we were going to wrestle him, and we were going to let him beat the crap out of us, kind of thing, right?
He's not under that.
But I know, just coming from our day job, some people have issues with letting non-professionally trained wrestlers in a wrestling ring from an insurance standpoint.
Yes.
But I told him, I was like, I'd sign a waiver. I don't care. I played competitive football up and like basically until this year. So I've been concussed,
How
broken
old are you?
bones. 38. So I haven't officially retired from playing competitive football. Maritime.
So you could
we have
take a
maritime-
beating, is what you're saying.
I've taken lots of beatings, broken lots of things, and I'm
Are
willing
you
to
still
keep
kind
them.
of athletic, though? Or you...
I honestly, the only reason I didn't play recently was because last season I played, I tore my MCL and my
Right.
meniscus, partial tears on both.
Oh, gross.
So that's the only reason I stopped. I've been considering going back to it, except this podcast takes up a lot lot of time now.
It does, yeah.
Look
So-
at us taking up all this time right now.
Perfect.
Honestly,
Talking about nothing.
So I've honestly been I haven't given my official retirement. I have two. We have the. I'll just give a shout out to them because we have the Maritime Football League here in the Maritimes, and it is like a semi-pro league. I know guys who've gone on to play pro. There's a guy I played with on my team. He got drafted to play in Europe. Who he ended up going and playing pro in Europe, and he ended up winning the MVP. And so he's back here, and hopefully he gets to go back again and everything. But we have a great league. We have a great culture. It's just not as well known. I was one of the older guys on the team, so I was doing it just because I loved it, not because I was trying to go pro or anything. But yeah, and honestly, I have two teams that have asked, like, you want to play? And I'm just like, well, I'm 38. I'm not healing as fast as I used to.
Yeah.
And now I have, I work full time. We have this podcast
Well, also,
and
there's
things like
something
that.
happens when you can't trust your knees, or you're trying to baby your knees, or some other part of your body.
Aging
Yeah.
is scary.
You're not
yeah.
going to just.
I've had 3 concussions over the last 6 years. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I've had 3 concussions,
yeah.
He's still in one right now.
Yeah.
but not over the last 6 years. How many concussions have you had?
I don't know. I have wood fights.
No, but like,
Oh,
do you think I was fighting?
No. I don't know.
Someone
It's a
hit
question.
her,
Have
someone
you
hit her
ever
with a
had
boom mic.
concussion?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure?
Probably. I mean, it's
Have you
highly
ever
probable.
gotten knocked out?
Yes.
Okay, then probably.
That's a concussion.
Probably have been concussed. Yeah.
Mine were
Yeah.
self-induced.
Okay.
Self-induced?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
You have to tell us now.
You got to tell
Well-
a story if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I don't mind.
Okay.
Because it's also there's a learning moment in here for any ladies with long hair.
Okay.
So many years ago, and I was living in this house in St. John's, and we had this beautiful old cast iron bathtub. And you just had like a little shower hose attachment. So you'd get in the tub, you'd do your stuff, but when you wanted to rinse off, you'd use the shower hose thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so get out of the tub, and like one does when one has long hair, you flip your head over violently so that you can then take the towel and wrap the towel
yes.
around you. So around your hair, turban style, and
Yeah.
stand up.
Yeah.
So I did that, except that I kind of miscalculated where the edge of the bathtub was.
Oh,
and
shit.
so with as much force as possible, I whacked my head on the corner of the cast iron
no
bathtub
way.
and knocked myself the fuck out.
Oh my God.
Sorry to laugh, but
That's it.
you're okay now, so it's okay.
Visualizing that movement's kind of funny though. I'm really sorry.
Nobody teaches you about that kind of thing, right? I guess
Yeah.
it's like spatial awareness. And
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
usually I think I'm pretty good at it, but
It's like when you're raising a kid, like you watch them kind of work that stuff out. Like,
Right. No, he'll be fine. He's going to figure that out.
You were a little later
I was
in life
like
on that
28.
one. That's great.
Yeah.
That is great. So we this is great because
Let's talk about me.
We're doing
Some
so
more.
much. We're doing so much side stuff and everything, which is kind of fun. But you know, we do obviously want to keep talking about you and what you do. So what's like? Obviously, the things come in waves for you
Yes.
with that. So like,
Yeah.
there's months where you're sitting around doing like, oh, I wish I could do something.
Well, I mean, up until
Or-
recently, there was many months where I was sitting doing absolutely nothing. What was really interesting with the strikes, especially, was that so many people who are usually like out of their minds busy had the summer off,
Right.
like with their kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, this sucks, but hey, I got to go camping with my kids
True,
and I got
yeah.
all this stuff that they never get to do during the downtime because we work primarily when in fair weather because
Makes sense. Shooting
Right.
is easier now.
shooting's easier and all that other stuff. But
I
that
was
doesn't mean
down
that we
in-
don't work during the winter because we do. But like
Yeah.
obviously everybody's trying to aim for those summer months.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. The lighting and all that stuff is more cooperative and stuff. Even like we were down in Lunenburg in I don't know what it was, summertime of some sorts, but it was warm. I think September or something, and they were filming that Hallmark movie down there, and they were all dressed very much like it was like -10 and in the winter, and they had snow, like fake snow, all over Lunenburg and everything.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, kudos to the actors and the people who make them look good and everything, because I was wearing a t-shirt and shorts and I was sweating buckets, and I'm looking
Yeah.
at these people in like pea coats and hats and sweaters and scarves and all this stuff, and I'm just like,
And they're so happy to be there.
Troopers.
I honestly don't
Yeah.
know how the screen, like
I think
how,
that if-
how it doesn't pick up the fact that they're sweating buckets.
I totally
It's
get
crazy.
it though. Like people that I met that act that they're truly passionate about it, man. They'll do it rainstorm.
Yeah.
They'll work
Oh,
hours
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
nothing. They just wanted to do their art and they believe in it so passionately, right?
Right now,
That's the
like
difference.
I'm at a point where I'm like, what do you mean I have to go to set? Why would I go to set?
yeah.
Set. You, what they want to see? No, that's what Zoom is for.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
has been great because now
yeah.
because it used to be like back in the day they'd be like, so and so wants to see you in person.
Oh jeez,
And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck.
I get it done with FaceTime or Zoom or whatever.
No,
Yeah.
no, wait, this is way before that. It was like, if you were getting called in, and that was
Not fun.
So actually that's the thing. So kind of back to the website, I guess. So you were saying you can upload your profile on the website.
Yeah.
Like, so do you actually go through and pick people through it over there? Do you have people that do that? Like, are you
I
involved in
have
that?
a couple of people that work with me now. Right now, we're just very bare bones because there's not much going on.
Right.
But there is a tsunami of projects coming
Oh, okay,
in March, April.
Cool.
Really? Okay, that's
And
good
there's
to
stuff
know.
that I don't even know about. There's rumors that I've heard. I don't know if people never believe this, but I'm usually like one of the last people they'll call.
Yeah.
Right.
Even on shows I already work on. Mm-hmm. I worked on Mr. D for
Oh,
several.
that's your, one of your
That's my
favorites is
guy.
Jerry D. That's
Right.
Jerry
Matt's,
D. I
Matt's-
want him on here.
Yeah.
But like, so there was one season,
Huge fan.
the second last season or something, and I knew that everybody else was getting like breakdowns and stuff and
Yeah.
paperwork and
Right.
crap, and I'm still nothing in my inbox.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
I sent the producer. I sent him an email, and I was like, if I've done something, and you
Right.
want to replace me or whatever it is, like absolutely,
Stay on the
but
road,
just
yeah.
please tell me whatever it was so that I could try and like fix this or
Yeah.
learn from it or whatever. She's like, did they not put you on the distribution list?
Oh.
And I'm like, no, I just assumed that somebody would call me if we were gonna have this partnership again.
Right.
So often that sort of thing happens. So if I don't get, if I know that shows have started production and I still haven't had a call. I don't.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't give a shit.
Right.
If they want me to know things, they will tell me when they're ready to tell me the
Yeah.
things.
So, do you pick the actors yourself, or is there like a team with you that kind of helps, or how does that
well-
exactly work? Like, I don't really understand
Okay.
that.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about actors for a minute.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just
So,
actors. Yeah.
If I put out a casting call and you have to do an audition and things like that.
Yeah.
Let's just start there. So I do watch everything that comes in.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll do like fairly wide open calls. I don't think people understand like the volume that we can get though of like videos that people want to send us in. They think it might be like 20. It's not. It's in the hundreds.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So it takes a while for us to go through that, but it's really worthwhile to me because every time I find somebody brand stinking new who just
Not
came
only
out
that,
of like nowhere.
They're in your brain now for that next project.
Well,
or,
no, there's no.
No?
My brain doesn't work. Like
No? Okay. Yeah. That's where I would totally
we
be
were
like,
driving
I'd be like,
down here. My husband said, "You said you wanted to go eat at that place." It was like, and I was like,
Yeah.
I have no recollection of saying that because that was yesterday.
I directed a few shows, and you always see someone when they come in addition. You're like,
That's
man,
no.
I hope that guy's there for the next thing because you're
No,
like, he's not
but
right for this one, or she's not right for this one.
I
but
have people
totally right
with
for
me
the
as well that can remember stuff better.
It's okay. Yeah.
So what she's saying is
Yeah.
she's going to leave here and she's going to not remember those afternoon pint guys. And someone else, maybe we should have had someone else here and you're like, those afternoon pint guys would have been great on this show.
Well, that's cool, and anyone could sign up for Hennessey Casting, right?
So just let me get back to that. So
Sure,
we
yeah,
do
yeah.
watch everybody's auditions.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely we do. And part of my job is, as you know, and people love me or hate me for it.
Mm-hmm.
Production loves me for it. Actors hate me for it. I am a gatekeeper,
Yeah.
right, you totally are.
and not by choice.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to send 600 auditions to the director
Right.
Yes.
That makes sense. Yeah.
because he's going to go.
What do you make
I
And,
got
and,
like
and you got to
10
respect your
minutes here.
job too. So
Right.
as much
exactly.
as I might want to be the next
So-
leading man on an action movie, you got to say, well, wait a
So
second.
I have it like, you
Yeah.
know, I know that there's some people, but
Yeah.
even just doing the auditions, I've watched people get better.
Right.
Get
Oh,
better
that's
and
true
better
too,
and better.
yeah.
So
Sure.
it's never not worth your time to do it,
Mm-hmm.
even if you're just starting out, especially if you're just starting out. It's never not worth your time, or mine,
Right.
right? Because I can see you making gains.
Yeah. And there's not an age either. That's what's beautiful about acting. I think that you can act at any age, right? Like you can get into it if you retired from a job and you wanted to always be on television. You could
Yeah.
potentially come in and audition. They might make you a creature in the next From show,
yeah.
right, or
Yeah.
something of the
I
sort.
mean, if you're weird
Do you
and
often
gangly.
know if like someone auditions for something else? Do you ever say like, "Hey, not for this, but like, hey, we got something else that you'd actually be perfect
Yeah,
for"?
absolutely.
That
If
kind of
there's
thing?
somebody's a
Yeah.
standout, like we do,
Yeah.
we do keep them in mind
Cool.
and whatnot. So there's
Okay.
been a few people who've come my way, and I've said, "You call this agent right now,"
Right.
and then I'll call the agent and say, "Like this kid
Right.
needs, this
Yeah.
kid has some shit."
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
It's
Okay.
weird. Yeah, I seen that through like directing and producing, and like even like one of the guys we went, he just popped up in a movie I was watching at home one day. I was like, holy shit,
Right.
you know. And so it's pretty crazy. But like those actors, I think it's just keep doing it. Keep doing it. It's like anything else.
it's
Keep
true.
practicing. Get in the community theater shows. Get into the
Absolutely.
dirt. Right.
And I'm just going to give a shout out to a Facebook group called Halifax.
Halifax.
So it's like
Halifax.
it's spelled HALIFACTS.
Okay.
Like Hallie.
Yeah, and then
And
fact,
facts.
like matter of
Like
fact.
acts.
Halifax.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hal-
Halifax. Ah, okay.
Okay.
That was easier to spell than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
when you-
I know,
when
and
you
I think I
started.
spelled
Yeah.
it right
Yeah,
and
you got it.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But they, so this is a Facebook group that has just evolved into like a real cornerstone of the film
Okay.
Oh.
from an actor's
Cool.
point of view. Because all of the kids who are coming out of NASCAD who are making their student films, they all post casting calls in there.
Right.
And all these amateur actors that are in there and, you know, stage moms and all that other stuff. So, and I post all of my casting calls in there as well. And so do all of the, like, local commercial production houses and well like that. So it's a real hub. If you're looking to start anywhere, which I think you asked me about 4 hours ago, that's a great place to start.
Halifax. Yeah.
Halifax.
Cool. And when you're getting serious about it, go to Hennessey Casting.
No, you should be on Hennessey Casting anyway because it's
Okay.
completely
Yeah, but
free.
even now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go home and sign up.
I'm pretty sure I'm on there without a picture. I think I was
brutal.
thinking about it in my brain, and I just don't think I had a picture at the time.
It wouldn't
Too
let you.
ugly.
It wouldn't let you not.
No. It was just I didn't want to upload a picture. I was
Yeah, but
probably-
it was not going. It wouldn't let you
She's
do
saying
that.
I'm not going to let you.
Oh, it doesn't upload a picture?
No, she's saying it won't let you create one without a picture.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah.
that's probably why I probably never created one then.
Yes, probably, because I asked you for an awful lot of information. You were like, no, I'm not doing this. But listen, you have to make at least this much effort if you want to be on television.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
That is fair, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That's all I ask from people. This is fun.
This
is fun.
awesome. This is awesome. I want to keep it going.
Did
I
this
know.
get to a weird place?
No,
It
this
hasn't
is
at all.
exactly-
No, this is actually
This
just gotten
fits
better.
right
Yeah.
into like.
Is there
what
any
I
more of
watched.
this?
Oh
Yeah, we
Do
can
you
get
want
you another one.
Yeah,
Well, not a full one, but maybe just,
we can
Yeah,
certainly get
yeah.
whatever this chocolate.
Yeah,
Nonsense.
you're not driving.
That's the
so
naughty
you
and
can
nice,
have as
yeah.
many as you
I've
want.
got my.
Yeah, I saw your husband drop you off. You're all good. 1 second.
Yeah.
We'll get you another one.
Yeah.
All right. This is fun.
Well, he's going to do that. I mean, yeah.
You guys keep it going.
Yeah, we'll keep it going. This is fantastic. So.
Am I breaking a record now?
No, you know what?
No.
Actually, we went over an hour and a half for one, but that was an anti-racism one. It was two professors that talked about anti-racism. That one actually went like an hour and 45 minutes, and we had to cut it back to an hour and
I
20
can't
minutes.
imagine how difficult it was for you to.
But honestly, like we can't something as important as anti-racism, you can't just cut it back.
No.
Like we cut us out. Like that's how we got it down. Is we cut us talking.
That's
we
so
wanted
cool.
to keep their material because they're the guest and they're the ones that have the experiences. So that we're the one that want. So we kept as much as them, and then we just cut my know-it-all ass out. So yeah, because I talked a lot in that episode too.
Yeah, and
Kind of
the
thing.
part of your job is to shut up.
It is, yeah. It's. I mean, it is about part of our job to shut up and let the guest talk, and then so also the same thing is like it is supposed to also just be casual conversation, and kind of bring things up. But yeah, I just
So now you're a professional conversation starter.
I guess.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess so. That's what you want to look at it as. I
No,
mean,
you guys are good at it.
get the gift
It's
of
fun.
gab. I know that's for sure. But it is what it is. Oh, there you go. There's your. Yeah, you're getting another full one.
Another.
Oh yeah.
God knows what I'll say now.
Exactly.
I noticed you didn't.
No, we got to take it easy. I'm driving, so
We do have.
we have
second-
another guest
we have another
coming today
guest coming,
too. So to do
Oh, yeah.
after Jake Sanford, and
Yeah.
he's a pro MLB player,
Well, former kind of
pro
whatever.
MLB
Yeah.
player. Yeah,
That's why I have no idea.
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
So yeah. So we were gonna have a second one here,
Do,
but
but do you want to talk about more relevant shit?
I would love to talk about more relevant shit.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Tell us the industry secrets.
Well, there really aren't any, except that.
Tell us about Kevin Spacey. No, I'm just joking. That's an industry secret. It's a very weird one, but it's just I don't know why that was in the chamber. I just always think of the shipping news as like the first movie I think of when I think of Nova Scotia film, which is
And that was filmed where I'm from, Herring Cove.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
The shipping news?
I believe so. but
No,
it's
most of it was filmed in
in
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
Okay.
But
Was it? Yeah,
There were,
okay.
there were
I
scenes in
worked
Herring.
on that show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were scenes that were filmed in Herring Cove. They had some
Yes.
other stuff that they
I'm
filmed
not
on
allowed
there.
to talk about
It's okay. We can move
or
on.
Kevin Spacey.
But the crazy thing is that he stayed. So Herring Cove, there's the Herring Cove village that like there's St. Paul's Church, big thing there. They had the there's the big church and the church hall and everything. And Julianne Moore and Kevin Spacey actually stayed at the church there. And yeah, they had some scenes in the church hall and all that stuff. Anyway, the priest there actually has had pictures or whatever of Kevin Spacey with his dog and everything. And yeah,
That didn't age well.
no,
That's right. You
Sure
probably
didn't.
took that one down.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, anyways, that was fun.
Let's go. Yeah.
Papers, yeah.
So listen, there's going to be, as I said, there's a tsunami of projects coming this way in the spring.
Yep.
And if I don't know about it yet, I just hear rumors of things, and I can tell. I will probably get a phone call.
Yeah.
If I don't, that's fine. There's more fish in the sea. Like I'm not the
Yeah.
only casting director here.
Right.
We don't talk about them though.
No, we can.
You're
We
the
can
first one on our
absolutely.
show. Yeah.
No, Charlotte Churko has a company called Ballyhoo Casting.
Ballyhoo. Okay.
Yeah, and
And the Dunsworth family, they have a casting agency as well?
no,
did they,
it was
or-
murky. So FilmWorks used to be a thing a long time ago.
Okay,
It was
okay.
mostly Sheila Lane that was involved with that.
Okay.
I think the John Dunsworth had to step out
Yeah.
because of nonsense with the unions and him also being a union actor and them going, well, this is like, you can't be a
Oh,
casting.
okay. I took an acting class with John Dunsworth once,
Good.
and man, he was the coolest guy ever.
Yeah.
I mean, loved him.
Yeah.
And then after the fact, like so genuine. Like, he gave me his phone number, call me whenever you
Right.
need me. And not that I was special.
The kindest
It was
person.
just, he was the kindest guy in the world.
Yep.
And his drunk, when you realized it was an actor, just how brilliantly he played it drunk.
You know that people on
bang
TV are just acting,
No,
right?
I thought everything I saw was real until I was 35. But,
what
no, he was awesome.
The thing that was really cool for me with him is I was on a flight. I was going to a music festival called the Sound of Music Festival in Burlington, Ontario, and he and Randy were like character Randy, whatever they were hosting. Like, so it was Randy and Leahy hosting
The Sound of
the Sound of Music
thing?
Festival.
How many people ended up at this festival that were in their like 80s?
A lot of people, but you know what the crazy thing is? Actually, no, I saw like it was like Smash Mouth was there, Live was
I see,
there,
okay.
like the Offspring. It was great.
Oh, cool.
It was great. So I'm on the plane, and he's sitting in the two of them are sitting in the row ahead of me, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, whatever, right? So. They're just obviously regular folks, just sitting there having their conversation, whatever. We get off the plane, and as we're walking, I'm following them essentially because I was the row behind them, and we're going to get our luggage, right? And we're standing, waiting for our luggage, waiting for the thing to come along, and a couple of these young guys like recognize them. They're like, "Oh, it's Leahy and Randy, whatever." And that's all it took was that's Leahy and Randy, and he just. Boom, like snapped and went into the drunken character just like that and like played it up for them and was just like it made their day, right?
Yeah.
It made their absolute day. And I'm sitting there going as a Nova Scotian, like, I've seen this guy like 100 times kind of thing.
No, but also like the guy who's probably like exhausted or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. No.
Turning that on for people is so cool.
This is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like speaking to like the caliber of a person that he is and just like how he just gave it to the fans and stuff. Yeah, awesome.
And I can remember his acting class did not cost much. It was
No.
cheap. And it was not only cheap, it wasn't like he was there for 40 minutes
No,
and leave.
and then he'd
It
give you
was
his
like-
phone number.
It was supposed to be an
yeah.
hour long, and then you were there for 4 hours. You're like, okay. You almost wanted to go home by the end. But he was just such a sweet man.
Yeah.
So anyways, love that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lots of projects are coming. It's about to get really busy. So, I mean, obviously, there's some really... You know what? Actually, a show that was filmed here, I wonder if you had any part into that, is The Sinner, Season 4.
I did not.
No? Okay. I love
Was
that
that a
show.
Netflix show?
It was a Netflix show.
Okay.
Oh my God! Have you
And-
not ever seen it?
No.
Yeah.
Because
it
I
was-
saw like a bunch of I saw the first episode.
Yeah.
The
The
and then
very
when I
first
found out
season was
the
great.
very well, no,
I
sorry,
like to
mean
watch
that
happy
episode,
shows.
the
I don't watch
season,
none of that.
I
They're
was like, what
so
the?
good.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like, that was great. Like, I was like,
With Jessica
immediately-
Biel, and it's
Yeah.
amazing because she stayed on as an executive
She's
producer
an
through
executive
that
producer.
series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But season 4 was filmed here in Lunenburg, and
they
it was
did not
awesome.
hire me, which is fine. It was all lovely, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never. No, I never watched it. I think Andrea did.
you need
But-
to do your homework.
Yeah.
Honestly,
great show.
there's been some really great things here. I mean, honestly, and that's why I think I
But
was
also,
perceived
what
as
you
seeing
don't know about, from when the thing that happened, the incident we don't talk about with the guy who won't be named,
Yeah.
the number of shows that were going to happen here.
Oh, really? What
that
didn't
went away.
happen?
And then also before the writer's strike
Right.
and before the actor's strike, huge
And, like, keeps building,
mountain
building,
of stuff
like-
that was going to come here
Wow.
that people don't even know about.
Did it not get made, or just get made somewhere else?
No, it just doesn't get made.
Just doesn't get made.
Right? And so I managed to survive as, there's certainly a lot of like Canadian content that was still happening.
Yeah.
And 22 Minutes was still a thing. And I
Yeah.
worked on some independent films and things like that. But like the reason is, and Canadian content is absolutely vital to the communities that, and the kids that are like,
Keeps people working. It makes people learn.
Well,
and it gets us
it's
some
about the
passionate
learning,
projects.
right? But we have to have an infrastructure, and who pays
Oh,
for
yeah.
that?
Right.
Did I
Is when
hear?
those big shows come in, right? And when they keep coming
And
and
you
keep
had
coming, and then
nothing. Yeah.
it's tied to like, is there an equipment house here?
Right.
So I hope I'm not going to speak out of turn here, because I might know something that is not public knowledge or whatever. But isn't there a soundstage being built?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that
Yeah,
is
it's
that is
public
public
knowledge.
Okay, I
knowledge.
wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
It's just
I
it's
hear
taking
things
a lot
because
longer.
I know people politically, and
Yeah.
sometimes I hear things and then I forget if I'm supposed to know that or not.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, that's just in the news, huh?
I honestly don't know, because I'm told beforehand sometimes, and then
It's not a secret.
Good.
It is a secret.
I'm glad.
It is.
I would have had
It is. Let them believe it. It's a
No,
secret.
I don't
you're
want it to
special.
be
It's better
Special.
this way.
I don't want it
Where
to
did
be
you
a
get
secret.
this from?
But yeah, so the soundstage is probably going to make a huge difference
It
too.
will make a huge difference. It's just, it's a really large undertaking,
Yeah.
and I can't, I know nothing about what's going on with it, except that, obviously it's going to take a lot longer.
A lot of cash.
But they also have to go find investors as well, is the
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Right, so the government is not just sort of blindly
Giving
giving them
money.
bags of
Yeah.
cash.
Yeah.
They're like, what are you going to do with our bags of cash? So it's
Right.
not like you're just like an independent. No, there's a lot of scrutiny there, and we have to answer to, and I would say we,
I know what you
like
mean.
they,
Yeah.
right?
And that's fair in a
everybody
sense. You
in
gotta-
the industry here feels
yeah.
very strongly tied to this, the outcome of this project. So obviously
Root
we
for
is
it.
not a,
Yeah.
it's not a royal we.
Yeah.
It's a community we.
I hope we get more stuff kind of being done here. I actively try to watch something, just because I hear that, I didn't watch the Hallmark movie made in Lunenburg because I just can't do the Hallmark movies, but the
Really?
No, I can't.
The
Yeah.
Christmas shit.
I'd probably watch
I
that
got
before
caught
I'd
up
watch
in
that
it.
Sinner one because I just like happy things. Chill guy.
Listen, bullshit Christmas music, Christmas movies.
Oh, they're great. What's wrong with that?
If I can just have my iPad in my kitchen and making food.
If I can
or
laugh
something,
at some cheesy dialogue, I'm in a
I can
great.
just
I'm in a good
watch
place. Yeah.
Christmas Princess Diaries and crap like that, I would.
There you go.
No one's going to listen to this podcast anyway.
Not this far. They would have dropped over
I
40.
watch the worst
Princess
kind
Diaries
of
is
garbage on
so good.
on my iPad while I'm cooking.
Oh, yeah?
But a lot of it this year was awful Christmas movies.
Oh, really?
Like the 90-minute versions of, and it's the same formula the whole time.
They're all the exact
But there's
same.
something really
Yeah.
great about it because it's just I guess I just want garbage. Mm-hmm. This
That's-
garbage is very pleasing to me.
I
Absolutely.
mean, I get you can kind of bring up the feels. What was really funny is actually just before Christmas, Jack Black was asked. They were like, "What's your favorite Christmas movie?" And he said "Oh, I think it's this." And they're like, "Not the movie you were in." And he's like, "I was in a Christmas movie." And they're like, "Yeah, this one." Oh yeah, I was in a Christmas movie. Which I guess when you're at that level, if you're listed in 80 films, you probably forget. I don't remember what the 80th time I did something at work. So I mean,
That's
maybe
because you've had so many concussions.
3 is average.
Okay, good. Average. Do you want me to get out of here or something?
I think I got to kick you out. Yeah.
Yep.
No.
I didn't call my husband though because I left my phone at home.
Oh, that's true.
He's waiting for you.
Oh, was he waiting up front? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, but I didn't know how to say it. So I think I saw your vehicle parked outside, but I'm not sure. No, I wasn't trying to get rid of you like that. I was just we do have another guest
I
coming.
know.
and
I don't
want
want to be here when the other guy
the
shows
poor
up.
guy
Did we
waiting.
talk about enough stuff?
My gosh, yes.
Is there
we've touched
anything
on a
else that
lot.
you feel that you need to share, though? We'll give you the last kind of word.
Yeah, and this is for mostly for people who are just starting to get interested in, getting involved in the film industry and being in front of the camera. I can't really talk about what happens on the other side of that, but if you are interested in starting out, there's always been this sort of misconception that if you want to be an actor, don't do background work. And that is absolute bullshit.
Oh,
Okay.
really? Yeah. Of
It's
course.
bullshit.
Yeah. I think that's
because
bullshit. I agree.
there's no better learning. You couldn't take a class. You're dumped right in the middle of a real television show or a real
right.
film production or whatever, with the front row audience, and then maybe you're not doing anything, but you are.
Exactly.
You're still acting,
Right, yeah.
but you also have a front row to watching, it could be some huge name,
Yeah.
and you're right there watching them do that.
Yeah, you're,
and then
taking,
you get
you're
to
taking a real
get-
acting class. Really.
right?
Right.
And maybe watching them do it 100 times,
And you're not
Right.
an idiot on set.
and they're
You learn
paying
the
you to
etiquette.
be there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, and not only that, and here in Nova Scotia, if you keep going back and keep at it, you make friends,
Right.
especially with the ADs and stuff like that. Oh yeah, that guy, he's good. Yeah, he can do that.
We can try to
Right.
butter you up a
Right?
little bit.
Some people are just always going to be a ficus in a scene,
Yeah.
and that's fine. And it's funny.
That's me.
A friend of mine She has her own act. I won't say her name, but her background acting school. She, every time you see her doing background in anything, you just see the back of her head or her ass or like an elbow or something. Because she's always trying to like not put her face on camera,
Oh, that's funny.
so that she knows that she can get reused and reused and reused. But she can
Smart.
also like audition for things because.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it gets more complicated than that. But anyway, that's the so-and-so's school of background acting is stop trying to be right in front of it.
Right.
Anyway, do some background work if you're starting out, just so that you can see how everything works. And
Do you find you guys
Get
have
some
more than
confidence.
you need now for background
Oh my
work
God,
and stuff?
yes, yeah.
You guys are good. But
Yes.
so get yourself in there and keep trying and keep pushing and live out your dreams to be on a TV or a movie. That's cool.
no, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, we're also always looking for like more diversity.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And to make sure that we're representing. But I don't have a whole lot of. It just depends on my script.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Obviously, yeah.
So if like I'm shooting something that's supposed to be taking place in like the 40s in Nova Scotia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you obviously have to cast that makes sense to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can just take this whole part out because I'm not
No.
going to say anything that makes any sense.
No, you said a lot. It makes a ton of sense.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So, yeah.
Anyway,
So Hennessey Casting, please go check it out. If you
Yeah.
ever inspired to be an actor, an actress,
No joke, I'm gonna create a profile.
Yeah,
I'm not
create a
kidding.
profile. I'm going to get brave enough, and I'm going to finish my application that I started maybe
I'm
10
going to
years ago.
tattoo it somewhere on my body.
Thank you so much. We'll
Thank
end
you
with
so
one
much.
more
yeah.
cheers.
Yeah, one more cheers. Yeah. Cheers.
Too evil.
Awesome. To evil and to good, or
I
however
did
you
that for
choose.
Greg Jackson.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh boy, that was awesome.